Hey, John.
What's on your mind?
I'll tell you what's on my mind. You know, I'm giving a lot of thought to all these people showing pity for President Obama, saying what a tough job he has. But the reality is, I think he's walked into the greatest opportunity ever. I mean, if you're following disaster, you're in the middle of chaos. If you bring order to it, you're a hero. He has a chance to be a superhero. I mean, he walked into 2 wars, GM and Chrysler bankrupt, a fraud-ridden financial system driven by no fear and ridiculous greed, 14 million unemployed, all assembled by a president who took more vacation days than any president in the history of the United States. If you can't bring some order out of that, then you probably shouldn't be president. But this guy, I think, is good and has every opportunity to be the greatest president ever of our time. If he brings a little bit of order to all of this chaos, he's just going to be a hero. Real GDP growth, jobs are coming back, the economy's getting back on track, and in an amazingly short amount of time. General Motors is talking about an IPO already. Chrysler is back on track. They saved over 100,000 skilled jobs with saving those 2 companies. The banks are actually paying back all the TARP money with interest. The taxpayer has a small chance of actually making a profit on this deal. He could be the biggest hero in American history. But you know what? Every silver lining has a cloud. And his cloud happens to be about $1.2 trillion a year for the next 10 years, and he seems to think that that's okay. Why take this opportunity and completely derail it? He needs to make sure that he says to himself and to the rest of the Americans, you know what? We're going to save America, and we're going to do it by not incurring $1.2 trillion in debt year after year for the next decade. Who's going to pay it back? The money's not free. He needs to understand that the money's not free. At some point, the Chinese are going to want their money back. And we're going to wake up, and coming over the horizon is going to be 1.3 billion screaming Chinese marching to the Ben Folds tune, I want my money back. And it's going to be an ugly day for everybody, because we're going to change the word recession with the word depression for another decade on top of it. Because we're going to default on those trillions and trillions and trillions. And this is with a T, by the way, not a B, and not with an M. It's a T with trillion. How are we going to ever pay that back? I think, like Robin Williams said in the movie Cadillac Man, it's time to be a no-shit guy. Somebody's got to call him up and let him know. If he can cut the spending, he can be a hero. Not just in the eyes of the American public, but in the eyes of the world. We've just got to stop the spending. And I think he's the guy that could do it, save for one small issue that I ran into recently. You ready for this, John? I sent him an email. It simply said, President Obama, you need to understand that the American checking account is empty. He responded back with a very simple email that said, it can't be. We still have checks left.
Gotta wake up, America.
Right on.